Right then, we are doing this a second time. I do not like doing it. I did record it before, but the footage got entirely corrupted, and I could not. And it was not salvageable. um, I hope that is even a word, but yeah, that footage was not useful at all, and my editor could not do anything about it, which is fair enough. And I'm doing it here again. Hopefully this time it won't cause any sort of issues. I hope so. And before I start, let me just address the elephant in the room. Yes, I completely shaved off my beard. It's not there anymore. I just want to regrow my stash, my beard. So I just decided to just trim it off completely. Let's see if I can grow it better this time. Not that I had too much to complain about last time, but I just want to do it. And yeah, I actually do think about. I'm actually thinking about giving my hair also the same treatment. Let's see if I can do that or not. No, anyways, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. This is my favorite game from Ubisoft at this moment, at this point of time, and I was not at all expecting a game like this from them. I know this has been said quite a few times, I guess, by different people, but from where I'm coming, personally, I'm coming from a point where this is literally the best game Ubisoft has ever created, based off of whatever I've played from them before. And I've played the Assassin's Creed series for them and the Prince of Persia series. Love all those except for the recent Assassin's Creed games, but I always thought that those games are more of a kind of an experience, and rather than pure gameplay masterclass, And this game, it came out, and it's just pure gameplay action. It's just phenomenal. One thing that I always used to say or to my chat whenever I live stream is that Ubisoft does not know how to design combat, and this game just proved me completely wrong. I don't know if these are new members in their team or whatever, but well, because they already got the team already got disbanded, so that sucks. But yeah, these guys really know what they're doing. They understand game design very well, and it completely shows in this game. It is phenomenal. Anyways, the best part of this game is actually its combat. It's insane. I just died there, but if I try to show it, I'll try to show it again. It is very fast paced. The animations are really fluid. It really looks good to see those combat sections over there. It's very combo focused, and also has the little parries and stuff over there, and you can get chests like these through which you get amulets. These are really useful. I'll explain to this later on. I think by this screenshot over here, you can already know what exactly those things does. Ouch. What the fuck, that's bugged out a bit. Yeah, that's a bug over there. As you just saw over there, you can do a lot of combos. A running attack does a flying kick, then you have these basic attacks, and then you can actually juggle your enemies. Unfortunately, I did not have enough space to do the juggle, and so I could not show it, but yeah, you can actually juggle enemies and then put them on, use your arrows to actually juggle through. There are a lot of combos that you can do, which is really great. And unfortunately, I do not exactly have the right scenario to do those, but I could have shown you. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, I don't have enough space to do those combos right now. The combo system over here is not like in Devil May Cry, where you need to press a lot of buttons and then create those unique combos. But it's just basically few basic moves that you need to execute properly, and you can do a lot of combos. And there are other things that unlocks later on. For example, you unlock a grappling hook. I think it's pretty obvious of how fast-paced the game is and how cool it feels actually to use these abilities. You see that? Like, these are the kind of things, shenanigans that you can actually pull off, which is really great. And now I just threw him off over there. But if I would have had had the grappling hook, I could have continued the combo. But as I say, unfortunately, I don't have it right now with me, so it has to be that. The combat for the most part is pretty easy. It's not all that hard. The bosses can be a bit difficult, and it's not that completely easy also, but has a level of challenge, but it's not too hardcore that you won't be able to you'll die so frequently like I was dying over there. You won't exactly, it doesn't exactly happen that way. The best part of this game is, as I said, is the gameplay. Like, it feels so good to go through the world entirely, because the parkour of the game, which is one of the core systems of Prince of Persia in general, the parkour is done very well. There's a lot of platforming elements to it, and it feels really great going around the world continuously. The thing that differentiates this Lost Crown over the from the older Prince of Persia games is that, unlike in the older Prince of Persia games, the parkour in Lost Crown is a lot more execution based. So essentially, you will have to be very precise with the executions of the jumps or anything that you do in here in order to make successful parkour runs. Otherwise, you will get you won't be able to perform all the tricks and stuff. You have to be very quick also, as you saw over there. Oh, and there are these hidden walls also. I did not know about this hidden wall, or maybe I did. I don't remember. I'll just speak about this. The thing is that the combat system in this, as you can as you just saw in those clips, or if you are seeing in this clip from here somewhere, wherever it's put on the screen, it is very combo heavy. It's very fast paced. The animations are really fluid, and you can do a lot of things with this combat. Especially if you check out some videos on YouTube, you'll see some insane combos being pulled off based on all the abilities that are unlocked. It's still very early in the game. This is the second playthrough I was doing just for the sake of the video, but you know how that went. But there are, later on we can unlock other abilities also. For example, different kind of time reversal system where you leave a shadow clone and you travel back to the shadow clone, and then there is the ability to use grapple hook, which I did mention earlier. I don't know if it'll be put in the clip or not. Let's see what happens. So all those things you can use it to do massive combos on enemies. The unfortunate thing over here is that the enemies really die too quickly, but then again you can resolve that probably by increasing the difficulty. I did not check that too well, but I think increasing the difficulty does increase the enemy HP, so that will allow you to put more combos in. But other than that, the thing is that the base point is that the combat in this game is very, very satisfying, and it doesn't get boring regardless of how much hours you put to it. My first playthrough of this game took me around like 30 hours or so, and I did not get bored a single time. It just feels very great. The sound effects also are done very well in this game, which makes the combat again feel really great, you know, because you know how much sound adds to the overall experience of the combat system. One good example would be Sekiro. When the reason that we love Sekiro so much is because of its sound design. It just feels so satisfying whenever you hit those land those parries there, and this game does the parries absolutely right, the sound effects and all. The next thing about what this game, again in the gameplay section itself, is what something again, as I was saying about the older Prince of Persia games before, is that its movement elements and its movement elements are not cinematic, but rather it's a lot more gameplay focused. So you have to do the executions really right in order to get through the levels, and also any other platforming challenges that are there in general. A slight example that I can show you over here is, this is a little snippet of the combo game that you can do. I was so glad that I was able to show that, but yeah. There are a small example that I can show. These are all minute examples over here right now, but apart from that, there are other plays that I just really want to show you guys. But in this little places itself, you can actually see that it can be really difficult to pull off these combos. You have to be very precise with your jumps, and the controls are also really well done in order to facilitate these kind of precise movements. So here it is. This is a little platforming section, platforming challenge section, where you are rewarded if you complete these platforming challenges. But this will actually show you how well the platforming challenges are designed over here. You have to time everything right, you have to plan things out properly, otherwise you're gonna mess up and you have to redo the entire thing right like this. And there are different kind of things to different kind of ways the platforming sections challenge the players to. It's not only that these spikes or rolling saw blades and moving platforms, but other things also. Well, actually these are the only things, but they are used so creatively is that it's really interesting. And again, the movement mechanics of this is so execution based and so fluid is that it feels very satisfying to do it. Although this platforming sections has one single massive minus point over here, is that I don't know if you can notice it over here or not. I cannot exactly see too far ahead in these sections, which brings in an unnecessary element of surprise to this entire thing, which makes it feel very unfair. Right now I'm being able to execute all these things too perfectly because I just remember the entire thing. But when I originally did it for the first time, it was really frustrating. And again, not because the platforming is too hard. It is challenging, definitely, but more importantly, it was the fact that, ouch. It is the fact that I was not able to. The game was asking me to react too quickly in these moving parts, and which is kind of not exactly doable for me. That said, though, I do understand this. This is kind of a skill issue, if you want to call it that. You can very well call it a skill issue, but I think a good platformer should always show the players what to expect in the near segment of the platforming section. I think a good example of this is that one game, I forgot the name of it, which is a very Celeste. A very popular platformer, and feels very fair because you can see the entire arena or the entire platforming segment right off the bat, and you can decide your movements accordingly. But that's all that I have to say, is that the game is very gameplay focused, which is kind of a breath of fresh air to be playing a game like this from Ubisoft, and I just loved it a lot. It is the best game. I won't call it one of the best game. It is the best game that they have ever created, and it's unfortunate that we won't be able to see more of this. Now, speaking about the rest of the structure of the game, it is a basic Metroidvania, right? You have a massive map which you need to uncover, and then you will find places where you won't be able to access right now, like for example this part or any other part that may be. And you need to progress through the main story so that you can unlock more abilities, and those abilities will help you get through this one. So it's box standard Metroidvania, nothing special about it. And you have the bonfires from Souls games or benches from Hollow Knight in shape of these trees over here where you can save, and then the entire area gets reset. All the enemies come back to life. You have those currencies up there, and you have a healing potion which you can again upgrade to have more or increase the effectiveness. You have a bow and arrow that you saw me use, and if you hold it, then you can use this chakram, which again later on after upgrades you can use this to teleport again, add more into the combo stuff. The second thing about this game I forgot to mention when it comes to gameplay are the puzzles. Puzzles are again really very interesting in the sense that they ask you to utilize your platforming capabilities and also think through. It's not too complex kind of puzzles. They are pretty simple, but the thing is that they are still interesting enough to make them fun to do. Although there is one variant of puzzle that is not exactly that good, and I just went past that over here in this section, so let me just get quickly back into that place. And this is the thing now. But the concept of it, these puzzles are pretty fun. They're really good, but there are at times one or two of them that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense in the sense that they do not exactly communicate too well exactly what you need to do. For example, there is one section, one place where I need to cut some grass, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and there was no clues anywhere that I need to cut some grass. And again, cutting some grass doesn't make any sense of why you would want us to cut some grass in 4 different platforms together and whatnot. Doesn't make sense, doesn't feel good, doesn't feel rewarding at all. But for the most part, as I said, these are still good puzzles. And for example, in this one, as you can see, it's kind of very obvious that you need to shoot straight up over here with your arrow, bow and arrow, because these guys are holding a bow and arrow and then pointing straight up there, and then the treasure chest will open. Problem was that a problem here was that you can see this chest over here. Unfortunately, I've already solved it in the previous recording, so I won't be able to show it right now. But originally, this chest does not exist over there. It doesn't. Just that plate below is what you can see. And what I personally found is that when I saw this thing, I thought that maybe this is a puzzle that will unlock later on. It's not activated yet. Maybe sometime later it'll activate, and after that I need to solve it in the sense that I need to shoot something up there. I had that idea, but I did not know that the puzzle was already active. The platform, there's no proper indication that the puzzle is active, if that make any sense. And so for a long time I did not even try this until I went too far into the game, and when I saw that I did not get any sort of hints or any sort of key to activate this puzzle, I just thought that, yeah, what the hell, I just shoot one arrow over there, and it happened. So it doesn't make, so it's kind of not exactly, I don't know how to put it, not well executed is also not the right word for it, but it is not well communicated about this puzzle. But still, overall, again, as I said, it is really fun to solve these things, and so it can be excused a little. Again, combat, platforming, puzzles, the three things that defines a Prince of Persia game. This game handled really right. And another thing that defines the Prince of Persia game is its story. The story of the older Prince of Persia games were pretty interesting. We all really love the stories that all the trilogy had to say, had to share with us. And in contrast, though, this game kind of falls a bit flat, unfortunately, because it's not that it's too bad. The story is pretty decent, especially it picks up after around, like, let's say, after you complete go around 30% of it or so. But in comparison to the old trilogy, the story definitely does fall a bit flat, unfortunately, and I don't really have much to say about it. Lastly, let's talk about the art style and all. And I think that is one of the, I won't say completely poor part, but definitely not the strongest suit of the game. The game kind of looks good. Definitely, it looks good. I won't say it looks bad, but it's pretty basic looking game. It's nothing special about the art style. And again, there's something that Ubisoft has been recently, at least, struggling a lot. I mean, AC Unity, if anyone remembers that, that game looked really amazing. But yeah, you see these kind of platformings, man. This is, you see that the puzzle platforming section over here. Let's look at what the game made me do right now. These are the things that makes it really very interesting, and I'm all in for this. It's really unfortunate that the team got disbanded, but I hope that they have retained the talents, and those talents are being used in their other profiles, other games, provided Ubisoft survive this recent major slump that they are in. Yeah, I don't have the time dimension ability. We can actually change dimensions and then unlock these paths also. So that's another ability that we get later on. So we get a lot of abilities, and those dimension shifting ability that I just said right now, told you about right now, that also that is also incorporated well into the platforming system, which is again very, very fun to actually go to use those things. If anyone have played Titanfall 2, you will know what I mean. but it's just done way better in this one. Yes, I said that it is done way better in comparison to Titanfall 2, which is really great. You know, I will end this video over here. It's really unfortunate because, as I said, the first video that I did was I was a lot more able to speak more properly about this game because I was more interested in it. But in the end, the thing is, this game is hands down the best game that Ubisoft has created in the sword fighting melee action combat side of things. I don't know about about the first person or third person shooters because that's not really my thing, and I don't really play those. I never played Splinter Cell. I never played Ghost Recon. Those are not kind of my cup of tea. So I did not play those. But when it comes to, as I said, when it comes to action adventure as in like melee based actions, this is the best game that they have ever made. It's really unfortunate that this game did not sell well because one, they did not price it properly. It's really expensive, and under no circumstances will I ever choose, if I'm given a choice between choosing, let's say, Hollow Knight and Prince of Persia The Lost Crown, I will choose Hollow Knight 10 out of 10. I will never choose Prince of Persia The Lost Crown. So, and Hollow Knight is cheaper, so there's that. And apart from that, this also actually brings out another important thing, is the reputation of a company in the market. Ubisoft has tainted their reputation a bit too much for them for the customers or for the gamers in general to actually trust them with anything, and I think this game sale was also affected by that. Although from what I have heard or read in certain sources online, it did sell 1.8 million, but then again, it's Ubisoft we're talking about. I don't think well, I mean, I suppose 1.8 is not exactly that big of a number, and it's not exactly helping them. It's just not helping them, definitely, because everyone knows what the kind of state they are in. So anyways, this is it for Prince of Persia Lost Crown. This is my favorite Ubisoft game of all time, and in case they survive, I hope they can make more games like these. Thank you everyone for watching.